Hello everybody, this is David Blair of the CrossHairsTrader.com. Welcome. Today we're going to go through weekly charts. These are charts that have fired a crosshair on my weekly charts, and when a crosshair fires on a weekly chart, that gives me a potential bias for that particular stock or index for the next few weeks to months. So I look to enter a trade off of my daily chart or my intraday chart. I'm also going to throw in a couple of daily crosshair bonuses today for you to look at. But let's start. In my column over here to the left hand side is the TradeStation radar screen where I have my proprietary crosshairs set up. I've got the weekly, daily, and intraday here. But let's look at the weekly. A weekly green long LO4, which means that we had a long crosshair fire on AEM, that is a gold stock, 4 weeks ago. And we can see that here on the weekly chart. So now what I'm looking at is for AEM to consolidate some right in this potential resistance area on the weekly chart, and then we can trade it somewhere around the $65 mark up to around the $72 mark, and then potentially all the way up to around the $75 to $77 mark. So that's one I'm going to be watching on the weekly charts. And you can see here on the daily with AEM, you can see how we could be potentially consolidating in here. I'm not too excited about it right now because it's had such a big run. I'd like to see it consolidate and then break up toward that $70 to $75 area. Next will be IR, Ingersoll Rand. One of the reasons I do not necessarily trade a crosshair on the weekly chart itself, instead look at the daily or the intraday, is for this very reason right here. We had a crosshair fire 6 weeks ago, and so now I'm waiting on it to consolidate. And a lot of these that have fired a crosshair on the weekly chart in the past several weeks are doing exactly that, consolidating and finding some support around a price area. You can see that right in here. And so now I'll be watching it on my daily chart, and you can see where it's found support here on the daily chart. Here. I'd like to see it get up in this area, consolidate some, and then take off, but it's going to be a little while. But that is one we're going to be watching on the weekly chart, and that's Ingersoll Rand. Norfolk Southern, NSC, is doing the same thing as Ingersoll Rand, finding some support right here on our major moving averages on the weekly chart. And we can see that on our daily chart. My daily chart has the weekly chart moving average superimposed upon them as dots. And you can see those right here. And everything is lining up like we'd like to see. And here's that support that it's finding on the major moving average on the weekly. We can see that it's also finding it here. We've been in a consolidation area, much like the general market. But Norfolk Southern Railroad is looking like it could consolidate in here. And if it does and can break out, we're going to have a nice move forward. Okay, but that is one we're watching. Let's see where this resistance is. Somewhere around the $60 to $61 mark. And that is red for our resistance. It is at 58. So if it can break out solidly in this area, we're looking at a multi-dollar trade there, which is what we look for. But again, it is finding support right here on our price support on the weekly chart. Okay. WLL, Whiting Petroleum, same thing, finding some resistance after a crosshair several weeks ago on the weekly chart. We can see that resistance here. It's hit it multiple times. We go to our daily chart, and you can see it's hit it multiple times here, here, here. What I'd like to see is for it to consolidate above that area, and then we can have a nice move up. So we're going to have to wait on that and let it get above that 92, 93 area, and then we could possibly move up to around the 105 area. So plenty of room to run for WLL. WYNN, same thing, finding some good support, and you can see that on the daily chart. Finding some good support right along the major moving average on the weekly chart. Price support also. But again, I'd like to see WYNN get up in this area, break out of this 93 zone, and then take off, and then I'd be comfortable trading that, and then we could trade it up to the 107 level. That'd be a nice level. 105 to 107 would be a nice level to follow. MED, same thing, finding some good price support here along a major moving average. However, we've got this resistance, and we can see that on the daily chart. In fact, we could probably add another parallel here. So if MED can relax a little bit, find some consolidation in this area, then we can have a good multi-point move on MED. SPG, nice crosshair on the weekly, broke out, and you can see that here on the daily chart. What was resistance has now become support. So if we can have a little bit of consolidation here on our daily chart, let it rest a little bit, and then we could move up to the 100 level. That'd be a good psych level to watch and a good potential trade for SPG. VNO, same way, busting out. And our next level is around the 104 level. Long way to go. So guess what? Let it consolidate in this area, and then we could potentially trade VNO. One more, AXP. Same thing, finding some good support, and you can see that on the daily chart. Finding support on this major moving average from the weekly chart. If we can get up in here, consolidate, then we could have a nice move up to about the 47 level. Again, we're going to have to watch. Okay. Now, as far as down trades, we've had several, but I'm just going to show you a few things that are going on the weekly ones that are firing bearish trades, possible bearish trades. You can see like ANR, strong support, so we're not going to fall for that. We're not going to get snookered into that. Golden slacks had a nice move down and pulled right back up with the market. So we're not going to get involved in that. A lot of these you can see that have been firing crosshairs on the weekly to go down have had some good down already and hitting some price support levels right here. And those who join me during the week on our daily, twice weekly live webinars for crosshairs traders, these are the things we've been talking about. Look at these strong supports. You can see them over and over and over again on our crosshairs charts. Over and over again, SCCO. So the down crosshairs on the weekly chart are not giving us any trades right now. It's more the bullish ones. So a couple of daily charts to look at. I'll give you these that have fired recently. AGN, a nice crosshair off of our major moving averages on the daily. It's also off the weekly here. So it's got a lot of support in this area. However, we've got some resistance zones. If we can break out of this resistance zones, just a couple more dollars, we're off to the races, potentially. That's AGN. IBN is another one. You can see that. This is a very volatile stock, foreign stock, so you're going to have a lot of gaps, a lot of big moves. So you need to be careful with this one, but I'm seeing it consolidate in here potentially for a nice run up to this high. If it can break out of that high, and then we got another run. So that's another one to watch. All right. Those are the ones that I've been watching on the weekly charts. Us Crosshairs traders have been able to watch them during the week together, and I've given you a couple of bonuses on the daily chart. If you'd like to join me, email me. Let me know what your interest is, david@thecrosshairstrader.com. Join me at my website, www.thecrosshairstrader.com. Sign up for RSS feed or email alerts, and you can get all of my free blog posts. But I would love to have you join me for our charting sessions during the week. Just let me know. Have a good evening. Thank you.